My sister always made me feel small. She was the golden child, the one who got straight A's, the one who got dad's approval, and the one who got my fiancé. Yes, 6 months before my wedding, I found out they'd been cheating. She said, "You were too boring for him. I was doing you a favor." And just like that, they were together. She didn't even deny it. Last weekend was their wedding. I wasn't invited, but our cousin was, and she wore a very discreet, very clever little gift from me, a USB necklace. Halfway through the reception, the slideshow played. Childhood. Photos. Sweet moments. Then suddenly, screenshots, texts, a video of my ex and my sister, 2 months before she admitted it. The room went silent. The groom's mother fainted. The DJ turned the music off. And I wasn't even there. Now my parents are furious. My sister's marriage is off to a rocky start, and everyone's asking Ida for ruining the happiest day of her life.
My sister had a baby last year. The dad bailed. She moved in with me. I was just supposed to drive. That was the deal. In and out, he said. But when he ran out of the store, he was covered in blood and holding a gun. I froze. He jumped and yelling, "Go, go!" I drove. 2 days later, the cops found us. He ditched the gun under my seat. I didn't know, but they didn't care. Now I'm here, 23 years old, facing 15 to life for a murder I didn't commit. But the worst part? I knew he was dangerous. I knew something might go wrong, and I still turned the key.
I've been in love with Emily since I was 17. She never knew. Or maybe she did and just didn't want to. We met in high school. She dated my best friend, Drew. They broke up after a year, but I never told her how I felt. I was scared of ruining everything. We stayed close, best friends, all of us. College came and went, jobs, apartments, birthdays. And somehow, Drew and Emily found their way back to each other. He told me he was going to propose, and I smiled, said, "Congrats, man." Then went home and threw up. I was his best man. I stood beside him, as the woman I love walked toward him in white. The whole ceremony felt like slow suffocation. When they said, "I do," I swear I felt my ribs crack from the inside. But I smiled, gave a toast, laughed when I had to, because what else could I do? Now it's been a year. She still texts me, still calls me her favorite person, still tells me about her fights with Drew, about her dreams, about everything, and I listen, like a good friend, because I'd rather drown in silence than risk the little piece of her I still get to keep.
A year ago, my brother came to my door shaking, blood on his hoodie. He said, "I hit something. I don't know what it was." He'd been drinking, not wasted, but enough. We drove back to the road, no sign of a person. Just a dent in the front bumper and something red on the pavement. I told him to go home. I'd handle it. I wiped down the car, ditched the hoodie, and parked it a few blocks away. Then I called it in, anonymously. Said I saw a car hit a deer and speed off. No one ever came forward. No missing persons. No evidence. Just silence. But I still see it. The red. His face. He has no memory of that night. Thinks he just hit a sign. And I let him believe it. Because he's my brother. And I don't know what he hit, but if it was a person, then I helped bury the truth.
My sister had a baby last year. The dad bailed. She moved in with me. At first, I helped. Late nights, diapers, even bought formula when she couldn't afford it. But slowly it all shifted. I'd come home from work. She'd be gone. I'd find the baby alone, crying. When I asked where she was, she'd say, "I needed a break. You live here too." Last week, I came home to a screaming baby and a note. "Be back later," I snapped. I texted her, "Your kid is not my responsibility. I'm done." She came back crying, saying I abandoned her. Our mom says I'm heartless, that family helps family, but I never signed up to be a parent. Ada?
He's been gone for 3 years now. Car crash. They said he died instantly. I hope that's true. Me and Eric, we weren't good people. Not monsters, but not clean either. It started with a stolen pack of smokes at 15, then car stereos. Then we got older, and so did the crimes, but we had a rule. No one gets hurt, just take the money and run. The last job, a pawn shop, small town, easy cash. But someone was there, an old man, owner maybe. Eric tried to back out. I didn't listen. The Guy reached for something. Maybe a bat, maybe a gun. I still don't know. Instinct kicked in. I pulled the trigger. Once. Eric looked at me like he didn't know me. We buried the money in the woods. Never spent it. Never spoke of it. He died 2 months later. And now? I go to that tree every year. The one where we hid the cash we never touched. I sit. I talk to him. I ask if he forgives me. Maybe he does. Maybe he doesn't. But I know one thing. I'd do it all again. Not for the money. Not for the crime. But just to see him one more time.
She walked into court like she'd already won. Perfect hair, designer heels, a smug smile that screamed, "He's not getting our son." Her ex-husband, quiet, respectful, a little too calm. Then the judge asked, "Why should the child stay?"
"With you," she went off. "He's unstable. I raised our boy while he played video games and changed jobs like socks."
The judge nodded slowly. Then her ex pressed a button. A voice recording played. It was her, screaming, drunk, threatening the kid. "I'll send you to live with your loser dad if you don't shut up." The courtroom went silent. She froze. Her lawyer's face turned pale. The judge's gavel dropped. "Temporary custody awarded to the father. We'll reconvene in 60 days. She looked like she'd been slapped by reality. A couple months later, she came back, humble, hair tied back, no makeup, quiet. She told the judge, "I've been sober. I'm in therapy. I just want my son back." The judge nodded, then turned to her ex. He stood, voice steady. "I don't want her punished, but I have another recording." The courtroom gasped. This time, it was a phone call. "You think I care? Let him have the brat. I just want out of child support." The judge looked heartbroken. The mother looked like she'd seen a ghost. "Custody remains with the father. Ms. Davis, you will pay support starting next month," she cried. But not for her son, for herself.
He thinks our son has his eyes. He doesn't. They're Caleb's. It was one mistake. One night, 10 years ago. My husband had just started night shifts. I was lonely. Caleb was warm, familiar. My college ex who never really left town. It happened. Once, maybe twice. Then I blocked him. I cried. I promised myself I'd never say a word. Then the test came back positive, and I did the math. It could be my husband's. But it also could not. I told myself DNA didn't matter. He raised him, loved him, gave him everything. But now my son's 10, and he's asking questions. Why don't I look like Dad? Why do I have curly hair like that man in your old photos? I thought I buried this. But guilt ages like rust. It never fades, just spreads. So, Aita for keeping the truth hidden? Or am I just protecting the only version of our life that's ever been real?
We were together 5 years. I proposed with my grandmother's ring, an heirloom. 3 weeks before the wedding, she left. No explanation, just gone. I begged her to return it. She ghosted me. Months later, I found out she pawned it. Gone forever. So, I took her to civil court. You know what she said? It was a gift. I don't owe him anything. The judge asked if she returned any of the deposits. The venue? The dress? She just smiled. The judge ruled in my favor. Called it unjust enrichment. But it wasn't about the money. It was about the last thing I had from my grandmother. And watching her treat it like nothing, that hurt worse than being left.